Hello everyone, it's Jamal Thomas. Welcome to the Progressive Soapbox. Let's see. Let me check my volume. Guys, I want to thank everyone that helps with the show, whether that's sending articles, links. I have several people who send me show ideas and all sorts of stuff. You guys, it's always appreciated, so thank you very much. And that's also Super Chat, Patreon, PayPal, whatever. Whether it's word of mouth, however it is, however you help the show, I appreciate it in ways great and tiny and insignificant and major. So this one is not going to be long. This one is going to be extraordinarily short because this was something that I came across while I was researching something else. When I do my show ideas, I tend to break up the shows and I tend to research during the day. And every so often I will come across something else that takes me in another direction. So, interesting kerfuffle that came up starring one Cenk Uygur. Now, this gentleman right here, this is Aaron Matei. Aaron Matei works for the Real News Network. He is a journalist. He is a real journalist in the real terms, in the sense of being skeptical, asking questions, and not necessarily automatically jumping on the bandwagon just because everyone else has jumped on the bandwagon, looking for evidence, and having a memory that goes back longer than 3 years. He's awesome. Now, that said, if you're one of the people pushing the Russia stuff, if you see him in a dark alley, run the other way. He is a buzzsaw. He has been chopping and cutting through people who've been pushing the Russia stuff like nobody's business. And the next person who ran into a buzzsaw today was one Young Turk, Cenk Uygur. The Young Turks surely changed the name, by the way, but for as long as they keep the name, whatever. The Young Nazis. Oh, I'm sorry. The Young Turks. But whatever. He runs into a buzzsaw. He runs into a complete buzzsaw. Now, Uygur pushes a bit of fake news. Aaron Matei calls him on the fake news. And they have a little back and forth in which Aaron Matei fact checks Uygur on the spot. It's actually pretty cool. So this is Cenk attacking Donald Trump for something Trump said. Let's look at the progression of this. Weird. Well, this is what Donald Trump said to the Iranian president. Never, ever threaten the United States again or you will suffer the consequences, the likes of which few throughout history have ever suffered before. We are no longer a country that will stand for your demented words of violence and death. Be cautious. Be cautious. Just to make a quick point and a quick aside on this. That is terrifying. That's not some 3-year-old. That's the president of the United States sending that out to somebody else. That's the leader of another country. All caps. He seems completely and magnificently unhinged. I think if this was the ship captain or something, they would essentially pull him to the side for a medical visit. That seems magnificently unhinged. It's like he's having a psychological breakdown. It's fucking terrifying. But let's get back to the point. Cenk Uygur. Weird. This seems a little different than his reaction to the Russian threats to our democracy. I wonder what's different about the situation. This madman is now going to try to show how tough he is. He obviously can't do it to Russia, so he's going to take it out on someone else. I love the threat to our democracy. That's the Democratic line, by the way. Russia was a threat to our democracy. Spearfishing John Podesta all of a sudden became a threat to the democracy itself. Democracy itself was being attacked by Russia. They put their hands under the skirt of Lady Liberty and felt her jollies. We were just standing here doing nothing, mind our own business. All right. Aaron Matei intercedes. Trump and gang have been anti-Iran war hawks for years. So rather than frame this around Russia, why not just see this as Trump following his dangerous agenda? And by the way, what are the Russian threats to our democracy? Unproven email hacking and social media is a serious threat. See, this is the point that I keep making. I love Aaron Matei on this because he's making an argument that I make. It's be very specific what we're talking about. The spearfishing of John Podesta. Essentially, John Podesta getting his email account hacked or leaked, whichever one you want to put it, even if you grant them what they're saying, is a threat to democracy? That's an attack on democracy? That doesn't get across the bar of credibility to me. But you have a bunch of people who need to believe that that's what this is because they want to attack Donald Trump. And you have the others who want to clear Clinton of losing to Donald Trump. So Russia is a good foil for this. So RNN entering in on this. Cenk Uygur responds. Russians tried to get to the voter registration rolls in 39 states and succeeded in at least 7. Why are you still pretending they didn't do anything? It's weird. Are you just annoyed you were proven wrong, or is it something else? What would the something else be? What would the something else be? That's RNN. Surreal having to not just correct false claims, but also to remind basic journalistic principles to people I respect. But okay. 1, 39 state claim will later change to 21, all with zero evidence it came from Russian government. Have you seen it? And even that was walked back and denied. What do we have here? Virtually every major outlet reported claims in September the Russian government-backed hackers targeted voter systems in 21 states. But last month, Christopher Krebs, a senior cybersecurity official at the Department of Homeland Security, informed a House panel that the majority of activity was simple scanning. Scanning is a regular activity across the web. I would not characterize it as an attack. He added, when we talk about scanning, it was not also necessarily an election system that was scanned. The Department of Homeland Security, DHS, is denying the accuracy of the NBC report that alleged Russia breached voter sites and registration systems in 7 U.S. states prior to the 2016 election. We have no intelligence, new or old, that corroborates NBC's reporting that the state systems in 7 states were compromised by Russian government actors. We believe tonight's story to be factually inaccurate and misleading. You don't say. You don't say. Huh. That looks like he was fact-checked in real time on Twitter. So that's the factual part you've got wrong here. Now, on to basic principle. I'm not pretending they didn't do anything. I'm saying we shouldn't be stenographers or partisan activists, which means not accepting government claims without evidence. Why do you apparently think otherwise? Ugh! I keep saying, if you see RNN in a dark Twitter alley, walk away. Walk away. Walk away. The man is a buzzsaw. The man is a buzzsaw. He fact-checked you. That's awesome. I love the way Uygur in this tried to take this from a disposition of Russia tried to attack us. They tried to attack democracy. Why are you still pretending that this is not so? Huh? All of these intelligence services have said this. Why are you pretending this is not so, RNN? Are you just annoyed that you were proven wrong? Well, according to the information, it's not him that's proven wrong. Uygur, Russia deranged, fake news spewing Uygur. It's you. And it's not finished. RNN's still hitting him. He's still punching him. Finally, look at your assertion that I've been proven wrong. About what? I've never proclaimed Russia's innocence. I've simply said, let's not believe the government claims on faith. If Mueller is making an allegation means to you that something is proven, I'd urge you to reflect on that. I love that. I love that. Because based on that assertion, Uygur will be one of those people who are talking about weapons of mass destruction. Uygur will be like, yeah. And if I'm not mistaken, at the time he wasn't for it. I'm just saying this blind allegiance to whatever the intelligence services says just because you hate Donald Trump. Just because you hate Trump. Let's keep going. He's still hitting him. P.S. Or is it something else? What are you implying here? What is he implying? What is Uygur implying here? I want to know. I don't know what he's implying. And Greg added his little 2 cents, kicking him when he's down. Cenk Uygur is a hack. The last kick. The last kick. Yeah, I want to know what "is something else" means. I don't know what that is. I don't know what he's implying. And as for the other stuff, yeah, I remember this myself. I remember this document. The 39 states thing was discredited a long time ago. But it's what it is. Cenk Uygur, fact-checked, Aaron Matei. I play this just in case you hear somebody bringing up this 39 state thing. You would know where to at least find the information of saying, no, this is bullshit, this is nonsense, and blah, 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 blah. If you see Aaron Matei in a dark alley, walk the other way. That's if you're doing the Russia stuff. Anything else, I'm pretty sure he's a good guy. But if you're pushing the Russia stuff, walk the other way. Uygur walks into a buzzsaw named Aaron Matei. So I will end this here. Wicked Guru, you know what he's implying? He's saying Aaron is a Russian agent. If that is what he is saying, I've lost all credibility. He's lost all credibility to me if that's what he's saying. I don't know what he's saying. I want him to say, I want him to say it. What are you saying? What are you trying to imply? The Russian agent thing, Aaron Matei is right. I mean, when Aaron Matei bring these guys on, it's amazing how these guys have abandoned all level of... Uygur is not a journalist, so fair enough. He's a capitalist. Whatever that means in this context. But they've shed all level of journalistic integrity. They believe either because Trump represents a certain faction of the elite that they don't necessarily like, or they believe that they've brought on to the narrative, they bought into it, and believe that they're somehow saving democracy by attacking Donald Trump. Meaning, we don't like you, so we can hit you with anything because we don't like you. It's fair game to punch and hit you and kick you with whatever comes up. But the problem with this is, this will backfire. Because ultimately, you've just created an argument of your own destruction. If you're on the left and you're arguing that the Russians has something to do with the election, then you've already, at the very, right there, the conflation of Russians interfering in some way with them having some kind of effect in the election. And if you've already allowed that particular conflation, then status quo didn't lose on the ballot. She was cheated. I'm trying to make this point to you that it is far easier to deal with the argument of she just lost, because that argument is more right than not. It wasn't an attack on democracy by having information released that showed factually true information that the person who was running was cheating somebody else. And we should not allow that conflation to take place. The idea that the left in any way is supporting this particular angle of attack is somewhat sad. It kills me that Bernie Sanders is supporting this level of attack, but he is. He is. So I'm going to end this here. This one wasn't meant to be long. I was just showing what I thought was absolutely hilarious. Aaron Matei, a buzzsaw. That's what I'm going to call him. Aaron the Buzzsaw Matei. Because he cuts through that shit like nobody's business. He's amazing at it. So, alright guys. If you enjoy the content, please feel free to share, like, subscribe. Of course, you can always support the Patreon. Thanks everyone. See you guys shortly. Bye-bye.